Hey guys, FilmCrazyAdam here, and welcome to another quick review. This week, well actually last week, I went to see Independence Day Resurgence. Now, for anyone who's seen the original and liked it, I don't think you'll like this one. This movie took everything that they did right in the original movie and then did it wrong in this movie. You don't know anything about any of the characters, you don't care about any of the characters, you don't learn about any of the characters. The movie jumps around so randomly and so quickly, it almost gives you visual whiplash how often this movie jumps around. They barely spend more than a minute and a half on any given scene before they're jumping to some other place and some other character, most of which you don't know and you don't care about, so guess what? When they die, you don't care. This movie really was a big WTF, like, what are we doing here? Why did we make this? This movie didn't need to get made. Not only that, but how can you make this movie without Will Smith? And I think that's the internet's big question after, why did you make this movie in the first place? So kind of getting back to the movie, this movie, it just didn't make any sense. There's a lot of things that they just kind of ignore from the first movie and they just kind of pretend it didn't happen just to make things fit. Plus then they add all this new random stuff. There's a giant alien ping pong ball that Lieutenant Commander Data is really obsessed with, who evidently has a planet with other survived alien species that were attacked by the aliens that attacked us 20 years ago. I know it sounds crazy what I'm telling you, but this actually happens in this movie. This movie is so all over the place. It is all over the board. I really had no idea what was happening while I was watching this movie. Not only that, despite everything I just said, and despite it sounds like there's a lot that happens in this movie, and I want to say that there is, but I say that with an upward inflection because halfway through this movie, I'm checking my watch. My girlfriend was bored half an hour into the movie. She's like, oh, how far are we into this movie? And I'm like, well, about half an hour. But this movie, so much happens, and yet nothing happens. Or, at the very least, so much happens, but you don't care that it's happening. It's a little hard to explain without going to see it. I would say don't see it, but this is one of those movies that you kind of have to see to realize how bad, but at the same time, don't see it. I'm sorry, it's a little confusing. If you want a more in-depth explanation, you can click one of the links below and go to my full-length Went to the Movies review where I go really in-depth on this movie. Other than that, that's that, people. Don't go see this movie. Rent it when it comes out or check it on Redbox, but don't go see it. Anyway, later.